Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica.
Dana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, thank you. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young.
Close your wait. Close your eyes. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do it together. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
And we are
here to
rant and rave.
Why do you stop?
I even opened up one eye for less than a half second to see if you were looking or not.
I wanted to see if I was right because I was like, she pauses every time. And then you did, and you made the and 6 measures long.
Again, we have never once mastered the art of barbershop duet since being on distant recording.
I know, but I want to try it. I want you not to pause. I want you not to listen to me.
Okay.
How do I mute me?
Then I'm going to do it kind of fast.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
I'll follow you. You tell me when you want to go. Do you want to count in? What do you want?
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we are here to rant and rave.
See, I told you. I told you.
Oh my God. I guess we'll just do it as our own pace instead of that awkward exercise in young acting classes where it's like, let's. Well, you were supposed to say let's at the same time as me. Like when you're supposed to be like, let's try to talk at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, try again.
Hi, Dana. How are you?
Well, I can guess, are you? Okay, I have a word.
Okay.
Begonias. You just looked, you put your eyeball up to the camera of your computer like that was going to help you figure out what I was saying. Like you were looking at me through the camera hole.
Oh my God, that sounded like people trying to talk underwater.
It did?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm talented. I didn't know I had that skill.
Unbelievable.
Jessica, how was your week?
Oh, aren't you sorry you asked?
Uh-oh.
You guys, I'm just going to tell you, 2020 is just really trucking along full speed, as we know. There's been no braking whatsoever.
No.
I'll tell you 2 things that happened.
Okay.
Just right in my own home while staying at home, being quarantined. Okay. So after I saw you last, Dana, from our last recording, my neighbor texted me, something just fell on my apartment. And I'm like, huh? And I went outside, and a branch that looks like it came from the Avenue of the Giants in Northern California literally snapped off the tree. We have 2 massive 3-story high pine trees, one in front of my unit, one in front of hers. And all of our units are 2-story. So the bedrooms are upstairs.
Ooh.
The branch snapped in half and fell, and it was against her apartment, and it covered her entire patio, which is a large patio.
Wow.
Luckily, she was not hurt. It landed on one of our other neighbors' cars.
No, I feel like this has happened more than once at your place.
Well, I think maybe the week before, did I mention that the tree in front of my unit drops the green undeveloped
and it broke
pine cones?
broke somebody's car window. Yeah.
So this was a branch, and I'm telling you, the tear to the branch, if you will, the break was so rough. It looked like a giant walked up and went, yeah, and just
Really?
snapped it in half with their hands.
Wow.
So now I'm obsessed because I want to know if there's termites in the trees. I'm imagining there are because there definitely are in our building.
Uh-oh.
Now, before I tell you the other horrifying thing that happened, again, I repeat, no one was hurt. Thank goodness. Everybody agreed that's the most important. But now we're scared and we want like an arborist to come out and look at the tree. No joke, because they have to see if it's dead, if there's
Right.
disease, whatever. I feel very inappropriate, but I say this with love and mad respect to firemen, young and old.
Okay.
I also may be talking about two of our listeners in particular who are former firemen. I think you both know who you are. Not one, but two full-size engines, ladders. What's the proper word, Dana? I don't know.
Yeah, ladder truck.
Carrying the local North Hollywood Fire Department.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Wait, I thought this was horrible.
No, I just told you this is the silver lining to the horror before I move on to the other
Oh.
thing.
Oh yeah, I love me some firemen,
Okay, well,
especially the firemen out here, like
Dana,
insane
they look like they were
models.
professional strippers and
Yeah.
or wrestlers or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. I can't. Every one of the ladies in my building was like kind of like laughing and clutching their pearls and nervously laughing.
Yeah.
They were so nice and so amazing as they always are. And then it's totally inappropriate that we were all like,
But you know what? Okay, first of all, everybody's always been like, oh, the uniforms, blah, blah, blah. Then you add to the fact that it's California firemen, so they're just like so hot.
And sun-kissed.
Yes. And often just wearing their like tight t-shirts and their blue pants.
That's exactly what they were wearing.
Oh, I'm aware. And then you add on top of that, it's been coronavirus and none of us is getting any attention. It's like when I went to Walmart. I went to Walmart in Missouri and the manager, who was clearly much younger than me,
Okay.
was like, oh, hey, hi. Did you find everything okay? And I turned into you with the fireman over a little boy managing the Walmart because he paid attention to me. I was like,
know.
oh, I did. I found everything. Thank you. Please just talk to me with bright eyes like you're alive. I need it.
I mean, for real though.
Yeah.
You're so right. And especially it only adds sugar to the sundae.
Honey
when
pot.
they give you like a tip of the hat if they're wearing one, or like, well, you ladies have a good night and let us know if we can be of any further assistance. I'm like, oh,
I'll tell you what you can assist. No, legitimately, I'm so glad to hear you say this because this is just, oh wait, my microphone, I'm like laughing and my microphone's bouncing on my metal desk because of my belly. That's sad. If you guys could see my setup right now, I sent Jessica a picture. I made Dan Tipton take the picture. It's ridiculous. I'm the most unprofessional person ever.
No, it looks amazing.
No,
That's
but I'm so glad to hear you say that because, Jessica, this is how low I am. I texted our friends, Josh DeBiz and Rob Reines last night and was like, hey guys, I've had a couple of glasses of wine.
Always a great start.
I've basically been a single mom since about end of May, early June, because Dan's on the feature, So just want some attention. Basically, that was basically my entire and they came through. They really came through. They were ridiculously silly and inappropriate, and it was short and sweet and just helped me get through my night. Like,
heck yeah,
somebody paid attention to me.
Yes.
It's so desperate.
No, and okay, in all seriousness, like I said, I obviously have the utmost respect for firemen and any first responders, but
Oh, sure.
firemen are so amazing and are kind of, to me, trained a little bit in everything. They
Yeah.
know no matter whether they were EMTs at one point or not, most firemen at least know a lot more than just basic first aid.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Um, they help with fallen trees, obviously, even though that's not
Mhm,
their jurisdiction or their job per se.
mhm.
There's a million things. They've helped people get their cats out of tree, as we know, all kinds of things. But all kidding aside, like they were amazing and they taped off the area and whatever. And of course, explained this is not just like we can pull this off and get rid of it for you guys or leave it on the lawn. This is like a structural thing. And so they had us call our landlord, and our landlord refused to speak to the fireman.
What?
And you should have seen the fireman's face that the guy who was doing most of the talking to my neighbor goes, "I'm sorry, what?" Like,
Yeah,
so literally, I think just stupefied and shocked that he wouldn't get on the phone. And this was not a joke. Why would you not want to hear what's going on with your
with
building
your building that you own.
and with somebody from the city? Because
Yes.
if there's going to be problems, you're going to be dealing with them, and it ain't going to be through a nice, sweet fireman trying to tell you what to do in this situation.
Well, and also, you jerk, that could have gone through her roof in her bedroom and killed
Correct.
her.
Correct.
Ugh.
It was like
Well,
no
you
joke.
know how I feel about your landlord.
Well, this is not to have to do with my landlord, but before we move into your week, I need to tell you guys really quick because, hey, our apartment made it on the news. Yeah, I'm not excited about it because I think it's cool. Um, Remember that little post I did? If you guys follow me, you might have seen that I saw signs all over my neighborhood
The
and next door
mosquitos?
app. Uh-huh. And
Uh-huh.
it was not just my township of Studio City. It was my neighborhood, Dana, between here and where all that strip of restaurants is, where Aroma
Uh-huh.
and everything is.
Uh-huh.
It was a very tight, kind of 10 by 10 square mile of blocks
Oh.
that they sprayed. It was not all over Studio City. It was just my neighborhood between CVS Radford and Tahunga. And they found they've been taking a bunch of samples because we've had such a massive infestation of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
7 of the samples that they've taken tested positive for West Nile virus.
Oh my God.
So they had a truck go through our neighborhood between 2 and 5 a.m. in the morning, and they showed it on the local noon news here
Mm-hmm.
on Thursday, and it literally is showing the truck, and it stops right in front of my building, and it's just
Oh no.
I mean, we were crying. I'm like, I don't want to say it can't get worse. I'm never going to say that again, probably in my life.
Yeah.
Just, I hope that it helps. That's what I'm going to say energetically and positively.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Well, so my like little loop into your world there, I happened to be in Studio City and I was
Yes.
working a little bit on a location and it was
Hmm.
all very, very safe. I'm so grateful. But anyway, we were outside and we were getting
Eaten alive.
devoured. And it was in Studio City.
Yep.
And so production had to go and buy spray for all of us, right? And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my girlfriend, she said that, it's so bad here in California. They call them ankle biters. And I was like, and it's true. They bite my elbows, they bite my fingers, they bite my ankles.
Yep.
And then I happened to open up my phone and that picture, and I was like, girls, come here and look at this. We were flipping out.
About the sign.
Yes, because
Yeah.
we had just talked about it, and then you
It's
posted the
so
sign,
weird.
and I was like, she's literally like blocks from us right
Hmm.
now.
It's
Yeah,
crazy
it's
and
insane.
really scary. I don't know, did you ever have this in Missouri? Definitely in the South, in Georgia and Florida specifically. There would be bouts of mosquitoes at certain times where it was like they stopped allowing sporting events. A lot of sports are played in the fall, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's shorter days. Well, the mosquitoes love to come out in the evening. It's not like they're
Yeah.
only nocturnal, but it became a thing where they couldn't have evening games or past a certain time of night because mosquitoes at the time were carrying encephalitis.
Oh my God, no, we didn't have that.
Uh-huh.
What's encephalitis?
A horrible thing that makes your brain swell. And yes, you
Oh,
can die from it.
terrible. Who was it saying? I heard somebody
Why did God
talking.
make
Yeah,
mosquitoes?
what's their purpose? Like, what's
Other
the
than to carry disease.
right? Is there a reason we can't just eliminate them from our planet?
I mean, I wish. But you do know, I mean, not to get creepier, these are non-native species. I mean, this happens around the world, and that's why you're never allowed to travel with seeds,
Uh-huh.
plants, or even carry an apple. I remember coming back from Europe with my boss when we were at a trade show in Paris,
Uh-huh.
and she took some fresh fruit from our last place that we were in Paris, and
Right.
if you saw what happened when we landed, because our flight like landed in New York and then we were flying from New York to LA, they went effing nuts because she was carrying fresh produce. And you're not allowed to cross country lines with that
Wow.
because it could be carrying something and now it gets out. And it's like something that plants or animals or whatever in your part of the world have never seen or dealt with because they don't belong on that continent.
Yeah, it's like those
Can wipe it
flying
out.
the flying fish in the lakes that jump out of the water and go into
Yes.
those are not native species and
No.
they're ruining the ecosystems where they are. They're
Yep.
just overtaking it.
Yep. It's
Yeah, that's
real
crazy.
creepy. So these are non-native mosquitoes. There's 3 different species. I have some informational pamphlets if you'd like I could share with you at
Oh
another
God,
time.
no, I'll never go outside again.
But they came over on a cargo ship.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
like we don't have enough to worry about.
Thank you.
Oh Lordy.
But was the shoot fun minus the mosquitoes from hell?
It really was because I just realized, like, first of all, I was driving there and I was like, oh my God, I can't remember the last time I drove at night, which
Right?
is so weird. Like,
No, totally.
it made me a little nervous. I was like, oh my God, there's cars beside me. There's cars beside me.
Yes,
Are my lights on? Okay, they are. I can see. Like, just weird, right?
I
And
totally agree.
that was the most amount of people. It was not a huge crew. It wasn't a huge cast. Like there were only 3 of us in the scene. It was easy peasy.
Yeah, yeah.
But because everybody's trying to make everything as easy as possible and safe as possible.
Right.
But that's the most people I've seen in a while, like probably since early July,
Yeah.
and that's only because,
Unfortunate circumstances.
exactly.
Not like
Exactly. So I was like, I recognized what a weirdo I was. Like, you would be shocked how quickly you lose your ability to talk to people. Now, when I talk to you, we're on Zoom,
yes.
so it's a little bit different. And, whatever, I'm just used to talking to you, especially probably because of this format. However, I'm having you over for a socially distanced porch party tonight. And when I
Yeah.
say porch party, I'm like porch party of 2. That's what parties are now. And I guarantee you, when you first get here, I will be super weird. So prepare yourself because I've lost all social skills. It's super weird. Now, by the end of the night, the end of the shoot, we were all having so much fun that we actually didn't really want to leave. And you know how
Sure.
it is. Usually, when you're done working, whether it's fun or not, they're
You're
like, "Oh,
done.
do you want to stay for a little bit and have lunch?" And you're like, "Nope, I'm good. Going home. Bye."
Mm-hmm.
Meow.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Totally.
The director released me, and I was like, "Are you trying to get me to leave?" And he goes, "No. Any time with you is great, but it's late, and I wanted to let you go if you want to." And I was like,
Do I have to?
I think I'll stay just because I don't know when I'll see people again. And that
Yes.
was the truth. Like, we were able to
Yes.
do bits, we were doing bits, we all had to stay away from it. Like when you worked,
Of
we had to
course.
stay a distance away from each other. We
Yes.
had to wear our masks anytime we weren't shooting, like all of that. Other people not on camera had to wear a mask the entire
Yep.
time, so there was obviously weirdness to it, but there was some sense of like, oh my God, remember when we used to hang out with people and have fun?
Okay.
And that was work. And yes, I love my job, but it's still a job, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, oh my God, it feels like I'm at an amusement park.
Right.
It's so crazy.
No, it really is. I find that I don't come up for air now when I see somebody because, yes, I pass strangers every day on my walks, but even there's a few strangers now that I see enough. I'm like, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, I know.
I
I
don't
know.
know them.
I was at an outdoor dining place, actually, Aroma. I met our friend Thomas, and they're all outdoor seating. They don't allow any
Yep.
indoor seating.
I love
Every-
that place so
It's so
much.
great. They all have face shield, like whatever. So you can't go in and ask for anything. They only let one person in the building at a time to order,
Yep.
and which is great because it's a tiny building.
Totally.
But anyway, we were sitting there talking, having a nice time. And then all of a sudden, this man walked up to me, and I had seen him go up to the pickup window. And I was like, that guy looks familiar. But we were talking, and I just wasn't in
Hmm.
that frame of mind. And all of a sudden, he kind of walks near our table, but trying to stay distant, waved at me. And I got to looking, and, we all have masks on, right?
Right.
I didn't at the time because I was eating garlic French fries that were delicious, but he did. And I was like, I looked at him and my eyes got big. And then I just started crying. And I was like, Matt Kelly. It was one of my very, very good friends. And I
Oh,
probably haven't seen him since the
all
holidays.
year?
Yeah,
Yes.
since the holidays. And
Yes.
someone
It's
very
almost
close.
9 months.
Yes. And this is a family, it was just him, but this is a family I used to spend every Thanksgiving and Christmas if I was in town
Oh,
with. So, like, I'm very close to them.
yeah.
And I just started crying, and I texted him later and I was like, I'm so sorry I was such a weirdo, and started crying. But it was like happy and sad.
No, of
I was
course.
so happy to see him, and it just reminded me how much I miss people in my life, even though
Yeah.
in normal regular lifetimes I definitely would consider myself like on a meter I would tip over towards I hate people, right? And now I'm just like it's trying to get the Walmart manager to notice me.
You hate people when it can be on your terms and you
Right.
have plenty to choose from, right?
Right, you
No, I
get
know
it.
what you mean totally. But even okay, so time-wise, like you said, it's like even if you saw somebody at the holidays, well, holiday parties and the holiday season literally starts the week of Thanksgiving, right?
Oh yeah.
So a lot of work and or social or even family events happen anytime between Thanksgiving and New Year's,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you saw someone at the beginning of December, it's not unreasonable that you wouldn't have seen them again in January or February. Everybody's trying to recover
Traveling,
from the holidays,
recovering. Yes.
starting back at work, getting their kids back in school, whatever.
Telling themselves they're going to join a gym.
But oh my god, it's so true.
Yeah.
But now, like 9 months in, and like it or lump it, with the rare exception of again, I've seen a few people, but I stress a few, and it's been outdoors, and it's been like, well, I brought this over to drop off to you, like
Right.
either them to me or me to them. Great seeing you.
Yeah.
When applicable, a few times it's like if somebody has space, it's like we've sat in the yard for a little bit, but it's
I
also like
mean,
1 billion degrees here. So it's like,
it's so
well,
uncomfortable.
sweat's rolling into my eyeballs. You guys take care. Bye bye.
Exactly. Or your elbows and knees are getting bit up by mosquitoes. I know. It's a
Major.
crazy, crazy time. We're getting into holiday season. So, like, and by that I mean Target already has Halloween candy and costumes out.
Okay.
Yeah, but that just made me sad because, for you and I, we have an entire set of friendships that were created, found, and kept in contact through iOS, which is a
Yes.
theater that we all used to perform at. And when it
Mhm.
closed, basically, a lot of times, the only time you see those people who you were not super close with, or you're not doing a podcast with, or you didn't take your show somewhere else, the only time we see those people are usually around the holidays. And
Yes.
this year, I mean, I talk about Josh DeBose, our friend Josh DeBose and Rob Reines. I can't tell you I think the last time I saw Josh, I can't tell you. probably before Christmas last
Yeah.
year.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. And, these are people that we love.
Exactly.
Mm. All right. Should we get into our rants?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. I'm up first. Yes.
Yes, you are.
And I have a listener rant. Okay. Now, I have the listener's name. Are we keeping that quiet?
I don't think you have to. I don't know. I never know, you guys. I always ask people's permission to repost
Yeah.
something of theirs on social media. I guess we
I'm
don't have
just
to
not
say
going
the
to
name.
say. Yeah. You know who you are.
It's not private or creepy. Don't worry, guys.
Well, unless I decide to make it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. I have a rant for you ladies that's been bothering me for quite a while. I like these kind of rants that simmer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
then
yeah.
you know it's really bugging you. It's like when you see something expensive and you're like, I really shouldn't buy that, but you can't stop thinking about it for 3 days, so you go back and buy it. This is this kind of rant. It's like, I
Hilarious.
really shouldn't be mad about this, but I can't
But
stop
I
thinking
am.
about it and I have to yell. Yeah. Okay. I have a rant for you ladies that has been bothering me for quite a while. All caps, guys.
Oh my god.
Dog poop.
Oh,
I live on a quiet crescent of duplexes where many people have dogs, myself included.
sounds lovely.
It does. A quiet crescent?
I
Sounds
love it.
beautiful. Where many people have dogs, including myself. Next to the building I live in is a strip of grass that many people bring their dogs to do their business. This is hypothetically fine, except for one jerk who never picks up his dog's huge, messy poops and ruins the space for the rest of us.
Mm-mm.
It's gotten so bad that I won't walk my dog there when it's dark out because I can't see what I'm stepping on. I've been unpleasantly surprised once, and that was enough. Thank you. Additionally, because I live right there, I have been accused of being the person not picking up because I have a medium sized dog. I assure you, not only do I pick up my own two dogs' poop, but sometimes I pick up other poop just to make the space more kid friendly because, yes, many children use the green space to play in too. All caps and 5 exclamation points. It's disgusting. Who gets a dog and then just lets it shit everywhere without thinking? Maybe I should pick that nasty mess up so other people don't step in it. When you get a dog, it's your responsibility to clean up after it. Do you have a child and then never change the diaper? Same thing. Your dog, your poop, your problem. I hate people sometimes. Now, that's not Dana saying that. That's the listener. Then this person added, BTW. I love the show. I look forward to hearing you every week. You're like friends I've never met in person. 2 of my friends also listen and we refer to things you've said or how you would react in certain situations as though we've all hung out together before. Love you too. Keep it up. Thank you so much. I love that. I used to have podcast parties with a couple of our girlfriends. We would meet up and get a 5-way jack and listen to podcasts, this particular podcast together. So I love that people, I mean, I don't think they're doing it together, but like it's something, it's water cooler
Totally.
talk.
Yes.
It's water cooler, I love it. Now let's get into the problem here. I also am infuriated by someone who does not pick up their dog's poop. And I felt that way before I had a dog. It is your responsibility. If you want all the loves and cuddles and come home to a little jumping happy face that wants nothing more than to just love you forever, you got to take the good with the bad.
Yes.
And there you have the facts of life. Okay? Because there is responsibility with a dog. Okay? You take
a lot
the
of
good.
Responsibility.
Yeah, you take the good, that's the love and kisses. You take the bad, that's the poop that comes out, the wrinkly pink that makes the stink. And there you have the facts of life. Okay?
What? That is disgusting. How dare you?
That's right. Poop is disgusting. You're right. Pick it up.
No, what you said is disgusting.
Is it wrong?
I cannot deal with you. Listener, first of all, Doesn't everybody want Dana to read whatever their rant is? Because it is perfect and it needs to be like those videos where they take a stand-up comedian set, but somebody has animated it. Or they used to do that on SNL, Fun with Real Audio.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my God. I love it
I
so
love
much.
reading our listener rants when they're really upset about something.
Yes, that one was like so epic. It had a lot of levels. We really appreciate that, listener.
Oh, well, I guarantee you that's how she felt. And if I'm wrong, you write in and correct me and I'll reread the letter.
Now I'm going to tell you about my feelings about dog poop, specifically in the city where we live in. Number one, before my husband moved to the beautiful San Fernando Valley where we now reside, he
Uh-huh.
lived in Hollywood. And as cool as it was that we could stay out at IO or Second City till late at night and go to local bars and stuff, and then walk right back to his apartment, nowhere smells like dog shit more than Hollywood.
Yeah, no,
Nowhere. It's
it's
like,
dirty.
does nobody pick up their dog shit? And by the way, most dogs that I've ever owned and or cared for, which
Mhm.
has been for a lot of friends, they like to crap on the grass, right? Nope.
Yes.
Not in Hollywood. They love to shit anywhere they can see, and it's all concrete. And
Well,
nobody picks it up.
I hate that because also in Hollywood, there's definitely at least a full 2 seconds where you're praying to God as you slowly
Yes.
look down that it's dog and not human.
Uh,
I mean, honestly,
so true.
because I have stepped in human excrement in Hollywood.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. And you know it is because it's like no animal has a butthole big enough to
I,
create this.
I can't. I had to deal with that several times in front of a place that I worked on the west side,
Yeah,
and
the worst.
don't even get me started on that. But as
But it
far as
also
dog,
sits there and it stinks always. Like it's not like the stink just kind of goes away.
no,
It just gets hot and cold and it's still shoved up your nostrils.
it's awful. And I'm gonna tell you again. I just realized we have a third to make this a trifecta of this week's apocalypse in Studio City.
Uh-huh.
I opened up my door and I was going. Sometimes I just sit. I don't even have a stoop, but just on like the bricks in front of my door. And all of a sudden, I'm like, God dang, why is there literally like at least 50 flies? I don't know, but I'm talking about like a legit
Yeah.
swarm of flies. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, and then I noticed that they're covering something in the ground. I'm like, well, what animal is dead there? Oh my God, I'm scared to look. It wasn't a dead animal. It was the remnants of somebody's gigantic dog shit
Yeah.
that they picked up, but they left enough behind that it was now covered with flies, and I couldn't go sit outside. I sure
Yeah.
as hell wasn't going to try to pick that mess up.
No, because that's not your baby. Yeah. It feels like, no, it's disgusting. It's so disgusting.
Well, yesterday I saw a guy. So right in front of my unit, I have like a grassy knoll, if you
Uh-huh.
will. I
Oof.
don't even know. I don't even know what knoll means. It just sounded right.
I don't
I
think you should use it anymore. I feel like it's just sort of like assimilated into only being used for the place that Kennedy was shot from.
oh dear God.
I mean, whatever conspiracy theory you believe, whatever, but still the grassy knoll.
The patch of half dead grass in front of my front door is a favorite amongst people who walk their dogs in my neighborhood to pee and crap. Okay?
Yeah,
I get
because
it.
once one starts it, they all want to do it on top of that to get their thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went to throw out my recycling, which you go around the side of the building, and I'm walking back and I see this guy with both of his dogs on leashes, and I'm like, I'm gonna give him the Jessica stare down. And I did. And I stood there like this,
He didn't pick it
waiting.
up?
I waited until he picked it up because trust me, I was gonna say something if he didn't.
Oh, for
But
sure.
I saw he was getting ready to leave, and then he noticed me there, and then he kind of, I think, embarrassingly and begrudgingly took out one of his poo sacks
Yeah, you always
and
have to have
grabbed the
poo
poo.
sacks here.
How dare you?
What an idiot.
Yes.
There is a very handsome man in my neighborhood that walks around with a little tiny broom and scooper sweeper, like scoop
Mm.
scoop sweep into? What's that's the technical name, I think.
Pooper
If you
scooper is the
well,
trademarked name.
but it's like a broom and a
Super
dustpan.
scooper.
It's a broom and a dustpan.
It's called a pooper scooper.
It wasn't built to get poop. It was built to sweep up little messes in your kitchen. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, the point is, before you and I come to fisticuffs, that he goes around and he sweeps up other people's poo-poos.
Is he a neighbor?
He lives on another block. Yeah.
That's really,
It's really
nice.
kind. I saw him doing it one day and I was like, oh my gosh, that's really nice. Thank you. I mean, I always pick up my dog's poo. One time I ran out of poo bags.
Yeah.
And didn't realize it until after she pooed. And I went home and got a poo bag and went back.
That's very
I'm
nice.
not leaving poo-poos on the that's horrible to do to somebody.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And you know what? If you're not big enough to pick up your doggy's poo-poos, especially if you got a big dog, but I don't care how big your dog is to begin with. If you're not responsible enough, then you don't get to have a pet.
No, precisely.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Disgusting.
I understand why she was mad. I don't want poo-poos near me. I don't want doggy poo-poos. I don't want any kind of poo-poos. Any kind of refuse that comes from the digestion of your food. I don't want it. I don't care what animal or human you are. I mean, right?
Yes, you're right.
Yes. All right. We should move on because I feel my face getting hot.
Oh my God.
Because you know me, I'll tell somebody, pick it up.
Yeah, as you should.
Yes.
Okay, well, my rant is a far less gross and just a lot more infuriating, perhaps.
Uh-oh.
I am sick and tired, and this is a very broad statement I'm about to make, but it really pinpoints specifically what it is. Misleading article names and photos, otherwise known as clickbait.
Uh-huh.
Now, like I said, I'm not even going to open that Pandora's box of people reading a headline that catches their eye and they think that's awful. And then they forward it and share it on Facebook. I know a lot of you. I don't think any of them are our listeners. And if they are, yeah, I'm talking to you too.
Yeah. And then
read your stuff, fact check it. I never, ever, A, believe something just from the headline. B, would then be like, I'm going to send this to Dana. I can't believe that this duck actually walked upside down in the middle of a shoebox.
Yeah. I'm so mad at you for telling me that because it ruined my life.
I don't know why that weird statement is what came to mind, but that was me trying to be like, I better come up with something quick. We're live. Oh, God.
Also, we're not live, but okay.
I mean, unreal.
Yes.
No, but seriously, I get real pissed because people spread false information and they don't check the news source and open it and see, is this even worthy? Or sometimes it says, it's like, you're not going to believe what happened with so-and-so and so-and-so's kid. I'm like, well, I want to know what happened to so-and-so and so-and-so's kid. And you open it and then you have to click 40 bloody slides to get to something that you already knew, or a picture that's what they showed you when you clicked the article to begin with.
Yes, totally. And also sometimes the page won't load right because there's too many advertisements, and then you try to reload it and go backwards and it takes you to the very beginning again.
Yeah, or it's like, sorry, that can't be accessed. If you'd like to join the LA Times and pay $98 a year to see this article. Okay, see what's happening to me? I'm going to take it down a notch. I lifted the lid of Pandora's box. I'm going to close it, not all the way, but we're going to push down that anger because, again, I could chew your ear off for the next 2 days about that. This is about a very specific thing because, like you said, these days, there's a lot of things that sometimes I'm like, you know what? That just really made my year.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the littlest things. So I was scrolling through my Facebook feed and I saw an article that caught my eye for 2 reasons. The title and the gorgeous picture that accompanied it.
Oh.
7 drinks you can enjoy while on the keto diet. Now, I'm not on the keto diet. Okay. but I'm definitely monitoring my carb and sugar intake. And so
Yeah.
this really caught my eye because a lot of it is low or no carb and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, yes, because definitely a beer has a lot of carbs.
Right.
Drinks have carbs and they have sugar, but like if you just have a straight up tequila on the rocks, that's
Mhm.
kind of like the lowest calorie drink, I believe. At least that's what
Mm.
all my clients used to say.
Mm.
All those fancy ladies that kept their bodies looking as good as they did when they were 20. They're like, oh, I
Right.
just switched to straight tequila.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-huh. And I'm like, well, not me. Can you
No.
pass me one of those beers?
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a photo of what looked like a delicious gin gimlet, perhaps, with a ribbon of cucumber adorning the glass. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Where they like,
lovely. Yes.
so I'm like, oh God, I can already taste how refreshing this is. Well, guess what, Dana?
Uh-oh, what?
It was a lie.
What?
All of it was a
Wait,
lie.
what are you
Okay.
talking about?
None of the drinks were cocktails. They were just different fruit juices and infusions made with sparkling water. None of
But
them were alcoholic.
did it say cocktails?
No, but it said
Oh,
7 drinks you can enjoy while on the keto diet. When you see drinks, aren't you thinking of a hard drink?
well,
I think we know where my mind is. These were different alcohol-free drinks that were disguised as handcrafted cocktails and boozy libations, okay?
but
And I
Jessica,
am not okay with it.
but Jessica it didn't say that anywhere in the title. It didn't say get boozy.
Cannot believe that you are taking the side of the
Listen.
author of keto drinks that have no alcohol.
Well, it probably should have said like virgin or something, but maybe that's not appropriate anymore. Is it? I don't know.
That's really funny and a good point. I'll take a never had sex daiquiri, please.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Listen, I understand like hyperbole drives me insane, all these clicks. So the fact that you maybe made an assumption and then it probably took you so long to figure out that none of it was what you thought, that it just infuriated you.
You know what? I've
Huh?
also seen articles that say 10 drinks to serve that don't involve alcohol.
Yeah, you're right. You are correct.
Okay.
You're correct.
For
Yes.
children, for people in recovery, for people that live a sober lifestyle, people that just don't want alcohol, but
Yeah.
they let you know that.
So you felt doubly tricked.
I felt duped.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Well, you know what? Here's what I'll say though. Maybe you should turn it into a fun game and go back to these keto juices and be like, what liquor am I going to pour in it? Yeah, I can't stand. Listen, I try to fact check anything I'm going to post or make sure it's from a reputable source, but every once in a while we all get tripped up, right? We all get, and usually somebody will let us know. They may have gotten a couple of angry emails and they may have both been from you, but it's still they're gonna take notice.
I do want people to know, just so you don't think like, geez, what a lush. This is not because they're not alcohol based, obviously not that at all, but I found it just so disappointing because I know what I can drink that's heart healthy and low cal. I'm not an idiot. I know I can take a bottle of sparkling water and squeeze a fresh lime into it and pretend like it's soda. It still doesn't taste like Sprite, and I know it's a lot healthier.
Well, remember when we had that conversation about the cute little baby platypus?
Yes.
It was fake.
I know.
Somebody clay molded it. It was a sculpture.
I swear, this is so weird that you're saying that. I thought about you because they featured platypus on what's another thing Grandma Jessica has been watching in her mornings after the Today Show. Jack Hanna's Animal. It's not called Animal Planet, but Jack Hanna. They play his show at 11 o'clock. It's like
Oh,
replaced Little House on the Prairie for me when I was a kid at 11:05. Jack Hanna and
my
his
dad's
wife.
been watching Jack Hanna too.
Oh yes. Then Gary, I know you saw the platypus episode recently.
He probably did.
It was really cute, and they
How
picked it
funny.
up, and it's like that's one of those animals I remember being so proud that I could spell and that I remembered learning about as a kid because
I
it was so
know.
different.
And they didn't teach us that they have those deadly venom claws on the back of their cute little paddle feet,
Okay.
right?
Well, Jack Hanna did, or the
Yeah.
man that was at the zoo that he was visiting did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be careful.
It was
It's
really
it's
cute.
a super cute little quirky weird ones that are the most dangerous.
I know. Oh, like those little things with the eye. Do you know what an eye is?
No, ma'am.
I swear, I think it's
What?
spelled like AYE or something. I. They have eyes that are this big. They look like those Thai beanie babies called Lil Peepers, but the peepers
Okay.
are giant.
Yeah, but what kind of animal are they?
It looks like a marsupial. I don't know. They're tiny and furry, and they're half horrifying, scary, and ugly, half cute.
It's not
But
the
they're
thing
really
that
harmless. But people are terrified of them from again misled stories, and they're harmless to humans, and
I'm
they
gonna
don't
have to look
attack.
at. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's not what Paris Hilton had.
What? What did she have?
One of those big-eyed marsupial things.
You mean a slow loris? If so, then I want her to go to jail.
She had something. It's the ones that you're not supposed to tickle them because they put their arms way up in the air, but they say it tortures
That's
them.
a slow loris.
I think that's what she had, right?
Well, the eye is kind of like a scarier looking version of a slow loris. They are a primate.
Oh, the monkey. Oh, yes, I know what you're talking
Kind
about.
of looks half bat, half monkey, half possum.
Yes, you're
Look,
right. That's
they've got
very accurate.
they've got bug eyes,
Yes.
but people are petrified of them, and like they don't do anything to us.
They're
There's no
very
reason. I
cute.
know. Yeah, they really are spelled like I said, AYE. They're
Yeah,
also on
because
the
I.
endangered animal list. I now see. Oh,
Aw.
sorry.
Uh, that
I'm
really
like,
brought us down.
nah.
I guess everybody's killing them. Well, welcome to our show. We should take a cleansing breath.
Yeah.
We need to blow out mosquitoes. We need to blow out dog poop. We need to
Mm,
blow out what else are we blowing out? You know what? I just have a lot I need to blow out.
fake drinks.
Well, some of us do.
Ah.
Okay, so we like to take a cleansing breath. We get all this
Mhm.
ranting and complaining about things
Mhm.
that are not nearly as big of a problem as
True.
what the world is in today, but we want some fun, we want some normalcy. We're going to get our panties in a wad, and then we're going to take a cleansing breath and relax for the rest of the day, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay? So please, if you don't listen to another word we say, at least breathe with us. We'll take a deep breath in and ah. Oh, I really would love to pair that breath with a nice, refreshing, cool drink with a cucumber ribbon around the
Good.
glass.
I hope you like fresh squeezed lemon juice over ice.
Okay, we're moving into corners. We got some fun corner stuff this week.
We do.
All right. So my corner is I think this is a new corner.
I think it is.
I like the name of it. And I like the corner. I mean, everything about this is so up my alley.
I know.
Yeah. So this is a new corner, guys. This is called Imma Scurred. Oh no, Imma Scurred Corner. Okay. All right, here we go. This is from The Mirror, which is one of Jessica's favorites. It was by Courtney Pochin on August 27th. Very recent. I love it. Okay. You can spend a night ghost hunting. Oh, okay. Where? At a
Mhm.
haunted old hospital and orphanage. Yes, please.
Absolutely not. You can take me there in my coffin.
Oh my God. Don't get me wrong. I would be terrified. Okay. But I want it. I want it. I want to do it.
Oh my god.
I'm obsessed with it. Our friend Ryan Gall would do this with me in a heartbeat.
He would.
Oh, he loves ghosties. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
What?
hmm We used to
Oh
talk
my
about it
god.
constantly. Okay.
Oh my god.
A company are offering fans of the paranormal the chance to spend a night hunting for
Nope.
ghosts, hunting for ghosts in an abandoned building that was previously used as an orphanage and a hospital. Just two of the worst things you could ever do.
Yep.
Like two of the worst places you could ever want to be. Right?
Horrifying and haunted on all accounts.
Also, in this article, there are some like Snapchats. What, Dana? Snapshots of some of the hospital rooms still have like those awful rickety wire bed frames.
No.
Yeah, and it's got a
Metal.
bright
And you can hear things clanging on them.
yes, and
Nope.
just like wheelchairs and stuff. There's this one I'm looking at. I'm sure you saw the pictures, but like the weird blues that hospitals have like on the walls and stuff, and then like a water blue wall and then a teal door. Okay, that doesn't go together. It's creepy. It's not calming anyone, okay? Anyway, do you love all things spooky? Well, yes,
Nope.
I do. And have a keen interest in the supernatural?
Nope.
You bet. Have you always wanted to experience what it's like to spend the night in a potentially haunting building? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then we might have found the perfect opportunity for you. A company named Haunted Happenings, love it, are offering people the chance to spend the night ghost hunting at Newsham Park Hospital in
Nope.
Liverpool.
Mm-mm.
According to the company, the grade 2 listed building dates back to Victorian times, and over the years it's been used as many different things, including an orphanage, a psychiatric hospital, and a nursing home. Here's where we get to the point in the article where
No.
I was like, that ain't a hospital, right? A
That's
psychiatric
an
hospital.
asylum.
Right. You're not going there to get like a wart removed. That's an asylum.
That would be a dermatologist's office.
See, I was right. You're also not going there if you broke your leg. Okay, that's my point.
I
You're
hope not.
Yeah, you're
What if
going there.
Nurse Ratchet is the one who broke your leg?
Exactly. You're going there to be forgotten and thrown away, and nobody loves you. It's horrible, right?
Jesus.
It's the truth. Haunted Happenings website says Newsham Asylum. There, thank you finally for calling it the right thing. It ain't a hospital. Newsham Asylum is the ultimate ghost hunt location for those wishing to spend the night in frightening and very active building. The
Mm-mm.
orphanage turned hospital dates back to Victorian era where punishments were harsh and cruel, and the sprawling building now lies empty and abandoned with a sinister and frightening feel to it. That's because sinister and frightening things happened there, and that residual energy, it's not going away. Okay? That's why. Boarded
my
up and
God.
surrounded by perimeter fencing, not going to stop me. I mean, these are
Mm-mm.
guided tours anyway, but even if they weren't, if I lived in Liverpool, I guarantee you some night me and some idiot just like me are going to be like, let's go sneak in. 99,000 square feet of terrifying
Wait,
corridor.
what?
It's huge, Jessica.
That's like bigger than Versailles.
There are like, right? Which I also would like to go to. Also, I would love to go to Versailles. Also, I believe Versailles is probably haunted too.
Yeah,
Anyway,
of course.
99, there's like properties on the property. It's crazy. Corridors and rooms you can explore as we enter this building in search of ghostly inhabitants that still reside here. They state that areas of interest to explore include the Psych Cinema. What does that mean?
I don't like it. I don't know.
The infamous, this is going to really ruffle all the hairs on your
Oh
body.
God. Oh God.
The infamous Naughty Boys corridor.
Please stop while you're ahead.
Nope. And the morgue.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I
People have
don't
claimed
like
to
this at
experience
all.
spooky things in the building. If this weren't enough, there's also a schoolhouse. I hate school. There's nothing creepier. Hospital wards, nurses' accommodations on the property.
That's
A
like when wardens and guards had to live on Alcatraz Island with their
exactly.
families.
Yep. These people, this was their life. They lived there. A bell tower, inherently creepy,
Of
right?
course, yes.
And a chapel to look around. These
Uh,
are all abandoned on this property.
nope.
You cannot convince me that there ain't some creepy, weird shit going on there.
I'm trying to convince you that there is and that you
Oh,
shouldn't go.
I should.
And let me tell you something, Naughty Boys Corridor, that better be the cool down after this stop your heart workout, and it better be Joe Frost, the super nanny from
No,
England, jumping out and saying, Dana, you've been a very naughty girl. You're gonna have to
no,
go and sit on the naughty step.
no. Listen, what was she called? Emergency nanny?
Super nanny.
Yeah, super. Here's what I want to say to Super Nanny. I respect you. I liked you. And it made me mad that they tried to homely you up because I thought you were pretty.
She was very pretty
Yeah,
and very firm.
she was. She runs a
Mhm.
tight ship. I liked her.
Yes.
Haunted Happenings adds there is an instant feeling of uneasiness as you enter and begin your journey into this frightening location. On a Haunted Happenings overnight ghost hunt at Newsham Hospital, you will not fail to sense the torment of those who belong to its long and torrid history. And they ain't talking about the hip clothing store. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go. This is a quote. Wheelchairs sit empty in corridors. Well, those are rolling around. You know it. And the mortuary fridges exist as a cold reminder of the lives that passed over in this place. Everybody's climbing in there and laying down, and then they hear their name called. Okay.
What is this? The ET ride at Universal Studios?
I mean, it would be a great one. I'd be on it
Louise.
time after time, giving this location a unique and frightening atmosphere. During our overnight ghost hunts, there have been numerous reports of paranormal activity. Distant voices have been heard from within the empty building. This one's creepy. Shadowy figures have been seen darting down the stairwells.
Shadowy fingers.
Not
Okay.
fingers. Not fingers, you weirdo. Figures.
Oh, figures. I was like, okay, that's really a stretch. Like somebody's holding the banister and the cameraman's like, look at those shadowy figures. Fingers.
Fingers. Like some ghost is like, I know how to get these people screaming and pissing their britches. I'm gonna wave my fingers at them in the dark. Point. Where is Thumbkin? Where is Thumbkin? Here I
Oh my god. Oh my god.
am.
Oh my god.
A number of ghost hunting nights have been scheduled between September and into next year. Now, listen, this is now. This was written in August. If everyone didn't hate America because we're so COVID stupid, we could go
Oh
do
my
this.
god. Oh
The
my
Newsham
god.
Park Abandoned Asylum and Orphanage Ghost Hunt runs between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. Yes! It costs between, okay, Jessica.
How many pounds?
Is it pounds? Is that the little L with the line through it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I've never been anywhere. It runs between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. and it costs between 65 pounds and 69 pounds. Okay, I don't know what the $4 difference is. Like, please tell me, Jessica, what could they add
What
to
is
this?
the for
House of Horror,
$4 we guarantee you'll shit your pants.
4 pounds. Listen, you're gonna
Oh
be
my
scared no matter what,
God.
okay? You are. Why did I just turn New York? You know all those British New Yorkers. You're
Yeah.
gonna be scared no matter what. But let me give you a tip. Pay us an extra $4. And what? What's the extra $4?
I really want to know.
They're like, we guarantee you'll get licked. That's what it
Market
is.
price.
You'll get licked. And then they hire some poor school kid that's just trying to make money to lick you
Oh
in the
dear
dark.
God.
Anyway, I'm sorry I drew that out, but it is so, it's like a life
I
dream.
knew. I'm like, you know what? She will love this and wish she could do it.
So hard. So hard. I wish I could go.
Oh my God, you could never get me
Back in
to do that.
Victorian time, like the
The
amount of horror and history there.
It's like the flashbacks to the first season of American Horror Story. I can't
Right?
handle it.
99,000 square feet.
The only place that I've gone that's abandoned but maintained question mark
Uh-huh.
is Alcatraz. And the reason why I wasn't scared, it was still eerie for many reasons, but I went in broad daylight. I'm sure they have
Never
night tours, which
been.
are probably cool. You
I would
would
love it.
love it. It is fascinating on so many levels.
I've
And
read
I'm
so many
telling
books
you,
about it and the escapes, the paper mache head
we
and all
we
that.
featured them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's horrifying. But
Yeah.
yes, please, one of these days, you will eventually see
I
it.
have
It's
to.
crazy to be on that island. And because it's in the San Francisco Bay, every day, mid afternoon, the fog rolls in,
Oh
and straight
yeah.
out of Scooby Doo, you literally can't see 3 feet in front of you.
Zoinks!
It's like a whiteout and you don't hear anything.
Yeah.
It's calming and yet eerie as hell at the
Eerie.
same time.
I want it.
Yeah, I think I told you this, but my dad and my brother Adam got real angry with me when we were on a family trip. Before we had any nieces or nephews, I went with my brother and sister-in-law and Alan and myself and my dad and my stepmother. And yeah, there was a guy who was a prisoner at Alcatraz. He was in his 80s, who's
Yeah.
still alive, and wrote a book and was in the gift shop giving a talk and selling his book and signing it. You bet your ass I bought it.
Oh
And
yeah.
they were so angry. I will never forget that ferry ride back to the mainland.
Because you were supporting a criminal?
Yes, and
Yeah.
I like lost my shit. I'm like, first of all, the dude's in his late 80s, and I'm not trying to justify, and I understand people's opinions about certain
Right.
things, but I am gonna justify. I don't know why I'm saying I'm not going to. I am. If this guy had been a Ted Bundy type or a
Right.
Golden State Killer type, no
No,
thanks.
right.
Okay. This was not, luckily, a rapist or murderer. This was a non-violent offender. He did non-violent theft. I'm not saying pish posh, not a crime. But
There's a difference though.
he was not a monster that terrorized people. I'm like, yeah, he served his time and he got out. That's dumb. You shouldn't have robbed anyone or any place.
Right.
Okay, but they were so upset with me. I will never forget it. And I remember I, of course, couldn't let it go
Yeah.
because it's me.
Right.
It was a very, very heated ferry ride. Mainly me being heated and everybody else just awkwardly staring out the
Oh
window
boy.
of the
Oh
ferry,
boy.
wanting me to shut up.
Oh God. Sounds fun. Sounds like you had a great time.
Oh, God. All right.
Okay. Are we ready for your corner?
Yes.
I'm excited for your corner.
I know, because it's been, I think, since quarantine started, Dana, since
I
we've
think
had a
so.
Hollywood.
Hollywood. Da, 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 da,
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Da, 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 da,
Meow, meow,
da,
meow, 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 meow.
Okay, so I love this. This is personally happens to be from one of my favorite musical artists. The whole group. This is somebody from the Wu-Tang Clan. Big fan. Method Man might be the sexiest man, in my opinion, on the planet. I said
glad
it.
you qualified. I'm glad you qualified by saying in your opinion. Keep going.
I know I'm not alone. Not only do I think he's so attractive, but his voice literally melts me. Like I cannot handle it. I love when he pops up in shows and movies. This is not about Method Man. I need to give respect where respect is due to the RZA, who this article is about specifically. Okay.
Okay.
So if you don't know who Wu-Tang Clan is, I'm sorry, and you need to educate yourself. And there's a great documentary series about them on HBO. I think it's HBO or Showtime. Please look it up and treat yourself. The RZA creates song to replace that ice cream truck jingle with the wildly racist origins. Now, I don't mean to be dumb, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that Dana, you maybe didn't know this either,
Oh, no.
and that many of our listeners did not. My husband did know this, and so did one of my friends when we were discussing this. And I'm like, what? Hip hop legend RZA has created a new tune to replace the famous ice cream truck jingle, which has a racist history. The Wu-Tang Clan artist said he is collaborating with ice cream vendor Good Humor to replace the widely known Turkey in the Straw tune. Now, I've
I
never
didn't
heard
even
that
know it had
name.
a name.
Me neither. And it sounds like such a goofy name. It sounds like a song we would sing at our holiday pageants.
Yeah.
God,
oh,
I hope we
totally.
didn't.
Or that you learn in pre-K where it's like,
The turkey in the straw.
yeah, or I
Like
stuck
to
my
hi-ho the
head in
dairy.
a little skunk's hole. That one, you know.
Stop it. So seriously, I'm not trying to make light of that at all. Never heard of the song. I know the jingle, but had no idea where it came from or any of that. So do you remember that ice cream jingle? The RZA asked. Of course, we all know it. I'm not going to play it right now, though, because we have come to find out that it has racist roots. But check this out. Good Humor called me up and said, we got to do something about this, Riz. We can change the dynamics and we can make a new ice cream jingle for a new era. Already love it. Good Humor. That's sold nationwide, if not internationally. So good on them. That's typically the brand that was in any of the ice cream trucks that any of us grew up in. There's still one that rolls through my neighborhood, which, P.S., they need to get on board and download the new jingle. They're playing Christmas tunes and have been for the last month.
No, I know. We have a guy. He hasn't been around lately, but yeah, he would always play Christmas tunes
This
all year
morning he
round.
came by. Silent Night.
Yeah.
Not what you want to hear from your ice cream truck. Okay.
No. All we had growing up was the Ding Ding Man. We didn't have trucks with songs. We had
He just had like a little bell that rang.
Yes, it was always a young kid, probably a college kid, driving an open Jeep, no top on it. And he had a bell on the side of it and went da-ding, 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 da-ding.
That was not an ice cream man. That was an imposter.
No, it was the Ding Ding Man.
And he dinged over to you and then opened up an igloo cooler with a half melted fat frog that you paid double for.
Yeah, yeah. I got most of the experience, just a ding to ding.
Oh my God.
So we didn't have the races. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh my God. Turkey in the Straw's melody originated from British and Irish folk songs, which had no racial connotations. But the song itself was first performed and gained popularity in American minstrel shows in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Some songs using its same melody contained highly offensive racist lyrics. So yeah, we ain't going there. I did look into that. I would never repeat it. It's not okay. We're moving past it.
Wow.
Whether certain people want to or not. It is undeniable that this melody conjures memories of its racist iterations, the company stated. The new melody, which has been posted to Good Humor's website and social media accounts, is expected to be available for all ice cream truck drivers to download for free.
Yay!
So that I really, really like. Okay.
Yes.
For the first time in a long time, a new ice cream truck jingle will be made available to trucks across the country in perpetuity, the artist said, the RZA. That means forever. You know what I mean? Like Wu-Tang is forever. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm going to let you hear the new little jingle. You know what? It even has a little.
Merry Christmas.
It has a little holiday flair to it.
It definitely
When it
sounds
gets after the beat drops, you're like, okay. You hear like a little boom, and then it's like diddle-diddle-loo, diddle-diddle-loo.
Very Christmassy. I was like, all right. I pulled out my stank face. I was ready for the beat to drop. And then it got a little Christmassy. But that's okay. There is something inherently creepy about a van driving around with a little ding ding song or a ding ding bell for that
Yes.
matter. Any kind of twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. I will eat your children.
Played on a xylophone.
Yeah, that's just what it is. It is, yeah. But I do love that they're offering it for free.
Yes.
And we
that
need to replace that.
This is something that, again, there are a lot of things that you're not at fault for not knowing. I'm not trying to be ignorant. That's why I think we can all agree everybody should always be continuing to evolve and to learn. I never heard of that song. I heard it, but I didn't know, A, that it even had a name. I just thought it was some random jingle, to be quite honest, that somebody created for ice cream trucks, which no, they did not. And it was really upsetting to find out the roots of it. And it's like, if that was a known thing, then why did that ever become a thing to begin with?
Exactly.
But we can ask that about a lot of things that are messed up.
Oh, geez, I know, right? Well, you know what? Thank you, Riz, for trying to correct something that's been
Indeed.
overlooked for ages.
Heck yeah.
Pretty cool.
It is cool.
All right, let's move on into raves.
Yes.
I'm up first with the first rave, and I will be raving about the Dreaming Zebra Foundation. You can find them at dreamingzebra.org. The Dreaming Zebra Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit encouraging children to embrace their individuality, to express themselves creatively, and follow their artistic dreams. Okay, I just want to pause for 1 second and say, a lot of times I think children are not encouraged to follow something artistic or creative. I know people were supportive of me, but at the same time, there came a point where they were like, but when are you going to get a job? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and our arts and music programs and performance programs are constantly being cut in schools.
Always the first to be
Always
cut.
the first thing to go. So I love the idea of this. Your gifts help us provide art and music supplies to underprivileged children throughout the world. The Dreaming Zebra Foundation was incorporated in Portland, Oregon, in the interest of promoting greater access to the arts for children and young adults. Our founders recognized a pressing need in many communities for the charitable donation of art and music supplies to support children, schools, and other nonprofit organizations serving youth in the arts. There are so many ways to help and donate, from sponsoring a classroom to donating to their art recycling program. Art recycling program is a way that anyone can contribute and donate by gifting things they or their children no longer need or use. This was really cool because we're going to get into some of the materials that can inspire. I loved it because I was like, wow, I never thought of that. And that's stuff I just get rid of all the time.
Yes.
Our recipients frequently include schools and community centers, at-risk and homeless youth, mentoring groups, art therapy and special education programs, and other nonprofit organizations in need, with an emphasis on diverse populations of vulnerable youth in underserved communities. Simply contact us to make a donation or commit to establishing a creative recycling bin within your home or office and encourage others to do the same. I like that. A grateful Dreaming Zebra volunteer will stop by to pick up your materials, or if you prefer, will direct you to a convenient drop-off location in your area. Some of the simple materials that can inspire kids: old calendars with pictures, paper plates, buttons, yarn, thread, fabrics, popsicle sticks, pencils, and beads. Those are just a few of the simple items that we can use to help kids explore their creativity. Your imagination and your donations help us to provide access to arts education for inspired young artists who deserve this opportunity to pursue their talents, inspirations, and dreams. Okay, so there's an online donation form, which I believe you can find on their website. So you can fill that out and they'll contact you within 1 to 2 days. I just think it's really wonderful. And it really touched my heart because, well, for a couple of reasons, because I feel like I was lucky enough to get a few artistic things in my life through my schooling. Right. So, like, we went and saw Peter and the Wolf. Then, when I got into high school, I was a part of the Springfield Little Theater youth troupe. It was called Yes Troupe. And one of our prizes for the year of going around and performing for elementary school children was we got to go see Les Mis at the Fox Theater in St. Louis.
It's a big deal.
It was a huge deal and it had a major impact on my life. And those were things that my family just couldn't afford. And also, my dad didn't really enjoy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like on his list of things to do, but also that stuff is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, that touched my heart. And I also love that it was started in Portland, Oregon, and they've become international.
Totally.
It's really, really cool. Okay. So again, it's the Dreaming Zebra Foundation at dreamingzebra.org.
Yep.
Check them out.
And it brings up a great point. Everybody has extra crap that they don't need. So if you are purging, especially during quarantine, as Dana and I have both done, and
Yes, lots of it.
increments and spells and ongoing, I found a lot of supplies that I've accumulated over the years for different craft projects for myself, for the camp that I'm a part of. And I'm like, I don't want this, or this seems juvenile, or this seems kind of dated, whatever. Well, it is to me because I've been looking at it and I try to update my materials. That's amazing to people that have never had beads or things like that. So kids can make amazing jewelry with those beads or glue them onto a project or whatever. So I have a box of materials as I went through my stuff recently that I might have to send off to this company if there's not somebody local for it. Because I plan to donate it. It's like, please don't throw it out. Teachers always need this stuff.
Oh my God, I know. And some of that stuff I didn't even really think of, like when you're talking about old beads and stuff. I have a bunch of that stuff. Or like I just threw away 2 or 3 just old calendars because I was like, there's literally no use for this. Well, you know, those pictures and things are inspiration for kids, they say. So it was a really good. It was exciting to read that. It inspired me to kind of go, okay, Dana, start looking through your stuff and see what you can do.
Totally. And less waste, right?
Mm-hmm.
Upcycling, as we say in the biz.
What biz is that?
A's and C's.
Jessica Young. This will be the one thing we go to our graves fighting about. Jessica loves to call arts and crafts A's and C's, and it's like
it's always gotten
under my fingernail. I can't handle it.
8 years later, she's like, if you ever say that to me again. I think that was the first time it came up.
Yeah, I think.
Oh my God. Hilarious.
What did you bring for a rave today?
This comes to us from one of our listeners who we've already become a huge fan of because she is always spreading positivity of her own and trying to uplift women, which we are big fans of.
Yes.
She donates with something called the Topsail Turtle Project, and she sent in this rave this week. So thank you so much. Volunteers walk the entire 26-mile stretch of Topsail Island. It's in North Carolina, by the way. I should have said that.
Okay.
Every day from May 1st through August 31st, looking for sea turtle tracks that help them discover the nests. We frequently will need to relocate the nests to safer areas, usually higher on the sand dunes or in less congested areas of the beach. We then monitor the nests and near the time of the expected hatching, usually about 60 days later. We will sit with the nests in the evenings from about 7:30 till 10 p.m. to ensure the hatchlings get safely to the water. I know. We have several different types of turtles that nest on our island, but the loggerhead sea turtle comes the most frequently, nesting 3 to 5 times during a nesting season and deposits an average of 120 eggs each time she nests. These are busy mamas, but once they lay their eggs, they return to the ocean and never see their babies.
Aww.
We are affiliated with the Karen Beasley Sea Turtle Rescue and Rehabilitation Center. I've wanted to volunteer with this organization for years, and I'm so thankful I'm able to do so now. This is my 3rd summer with the program. I've attached a few pics for you. The one where you can see chicken wire shows them starting to emerge from the sand, and we cover the nest site with chicken wire to keep predators out of the nest.
Aww.
So the link to this specific project is seaturtlehospital.org. And I beg you guys, this is a thing that's actually very close to my heart, specifically because my uncle, who is heavily involved with the Audubon Society in Florida, and he is a park ranger and an environmentalist and an ecologist on all levels. He does this every year in his state, in Florida.
I love it.
So I don't even know. I feel so dumb. I don't know if we have sea turtles that do any nesting here on our coast. I know there are a lot along the southeastern seaboard, but this is amazing. I love the opportunity for people to take turns. It's like one night, if everybody goes out and does a sweep of the beach and gets out there and volunteers their time. And the thing is, so many of them, it's the cutest thing. My uncle always sends me videos of them hatching. They are so little.
They're so tiny.
It's crazy. I mean, they're way smaller than the palm of your hand, and they try to make their way to the water. Now, they get snatched up, stepped on,
Yep.
eaten by all kinds of things.
Go the
Just
wrong
trying to,
way.
yes,
Mhm.
just trying to make their way to the water. But then I'm like, oh, once they make it to the otter, to the water, they must be safe. No, a fish or something can come up and swallow them. So even though they lay 120 eggs, my uncle told me if one makes it to adulthood, it's a miracle because
Wow.
so many of them are gone before they can reach maturity where they become quite large, obviously. But thank you so much for this, Rave. It's such a beautiful project. And, again, what a great thing to do with your children. If you're looking for
Mhm.
something to do with your kids these days, I know things are different in current times, but there are outdoor centers and marine mammal care, also places that are inland that have different parks and animal rehabs. Sometimes they need volunteers to do anything from helping collect things for nests for the animals that they whatever it is. Like, consider that as a family activity or something to do with your kids, perhaps, that gets everybody
Absolutely.
outside and helps a great cause.
Yeah, and helps teach your children, like, different ways that they can give back to the earth, to the
Yeah,
planet.
I love it.
Yay, I do too. Beautiful. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, listener, for sending that in.
Indeed.
Speaking of, we love hearing from you guys. We love it.
Mhm.
Please, please, please send us your rants, your raves, your
Yes.
good news stories, just something you wanna share, anything you got. I need attention. I need I need to be able to share things with people. Jessica, you wanna tell them how to get a hold of us?
I do. And honestly, please keep sending it in because I was overjoyed that this week one of our rants came directly from our listener and one of our raves.
Yeah.
So thank you. And if you've sent it in before, some of you know this. I love it. We've had people that have sent things in several times to us. It's not like, oh, we already used something you wrote in. Too bad. You can send
No.
something in to us 100 times if you want. We're never going to have too much information. So
Absolutely.
please keep it coming. Also, we've had people, it's been a while, but send us fun or weird things for corners.
Absolutely. Last week we had the update on Meth Bow Lady.
Yes, that was from a listener.
Yes.
So
So,
come on
guys,
now.
please, we love being in touch with you, communicating with you, and hearing
Mm-hmm.
what you would like to share.
You know how you can send it in to us? You
Oh,
can start
Jessica, how?
you can start by following us on Instagram and Facebook at the Rants and Raves podcast, on Twitter at raves_the. Though I'm going to be perfectly honest, truly for the messaging and going back and forth, Instagram and Facebook is ideal. You can send us an email at the rants and raves podcast at gmail.com, or you can hit the contact button on our website, www.therantsandravespodcast.com. Thanks for all of it, for listening, for supporting, and for sharing.
Yes. Thank you. Jessica,
Dana,
I think that's our
I
show.
think it is.
Aw, it's a long one. You know what I realized? I think sometime, well, I don't know if this is true, but I was gonna say if we don't do like a good green room dump, our
Mm-hmm.
shows are longer.
That's funny.
But
You're
I
right.
think they're just but I don't know, am I right? Or are we
I think it might be, but it might be better because a lot of times we'll be talking for an hour and I'm like, well, we could have recorded all of that and we just lost
yeah.
out on a lot of comedy gold. But I will say we've had several people in the last few weeks that have said, I'm loving these longer episodes. They've sent
Oh,
us
good.
messages about that. So, and
Honestly,
again,
it's just a personal preference. Like if I see a podcast, some people want bite-sized things. If I see a podcast that's 12 to 15 minutes, I'm like, I cannot be stopping to move on to whatever episode I want every 12 to 15 minutes. I'm sorry, but I need like Astonishing Legends 2.5 hour episodes, right? That's what I'm going for. Which, by the way, phenomenal podcast if you're interested.
Ooh.
I love it. It's all like creepy myths and lores, and these guys are pretty much skeptics, but they really do deep intellectual dives into it, and they're very intelligent. It's a great show. Anyway,
Have you already suggested this one to Alan? Because I know he'll be signing up as soon
oh,
as
I
he
don't
hears
know.
this.
I
Oh,
don't
he
know if I
loves
have or
whatever
not.
you've suggested to him.
I love it. I just, oh yeah, let's break it open and see what's inside all this creepness. Love it. Also, that I wasn't planning on talking about, but at the end of the shows, I like to share things that I've been seeing, watching,
Mhm.
doing, give you a little weekly point to ponder, whatever. You know what I did this week is I really started diving into, and there aren't that many episodes, and I think there might just be one season.
Hmm.
I'm not sure, but it's on Hulu and it is called Cults and Extreme Belief. Elizabeth Vargas hosts it.
Oh.
Each episode's on a different one, like Nexium, Jehovah's Witnesses, Children of God. Yeah.
I've
And
been
then,
watching the Nexium documentary on HBO. Oh my God, go on.
well, same lady is on this too. And then at the end of the season, so like they talk about each of the the FLDS, all of that. They have an episode on each one, and then at the end they have 2 episodes. The survivors speak. And so it's people, there's
Oh.
a guy from Nation of Islam, which I had no idea that have a major issue with child labor and they take their children from like no clue. Anyway, so that's
Mhm.
interesting. Cults and Extreme Beliefs on Hulu if you like weird stuff. And then also, just as a weekly point to ponder, Jessica, I've enjoyed you.
I always enjoy you.
And, we have a lot to complain about. That's part of our show. We like to rant things out.
Yeah.
It's good to get that out so it doesn't fester, right?
Mhm.
So I just want to say we have a lot going on in our world medically. You know, I'm sorry, but F cancer. I've got so many very, very close
Mm.
people I love in my life battling cancer right now,
Mhm.
which brings me to one other thing that I would like to just promote real quick on Instagram. So, my friend and nanny, Kira, she
Mhm.
has a girlfriend battling cancer, and the proceeds of the masks that she's been making, some of the proceeds go to her friend, Lindsay,
Mhm.
who's battling. Okay. Look this up, guys, on Instagram at Root Smith Jewelry. That is Lindsay Root Smith's jewelry that she sells. She says, I want to make people happy with earrings. That's her little bio on Instagram.
Aw.
And you guys, she's just trying to find a way during this pandemic. She's high risk. She can't be out working. She's
Mhm.
just trying to find a way to support herself and beat this effing cancer.
Yep.
Okay. I think she has beautiful stuff. I have a pair of earrings coming. I will model them for you guys.
Mm.
But anyway, check her out on Instagram, Root Smith Jewelry. And that's another quick thing I wanted to say, guys. These are tough times. We've featured Sweet and Salty Stitches. We love Sweet and
Mhm.
Salty. But
Mhm.
if you have something that you're trying to help someone else out, you're trying to help yourself out, just make it through this time, and you have some kind of artsy craftsy thing that you make, or just freaking beautiful or cute
Yes.
or funny, you know what? Let us know. We might actually add a section where I know a lot of other podcasts are promoting artists. People are making
Mhm.
fan art and they're promoting them. And today I want to shout out Root Smith Jewelry. Her earrings are
Love
beautiful.
it.
It's going to help her just survive during this horrible time while she's in the midst of battling cancer.
Yep.
So there are a lot. I'm moving into my point to ponder for the week. So I just want to say, I love you, Jessica. I'm excited to see you in person for the
I
first time in ages.
know.
Thank you, everyone, for listening and just being silly with us. To our first rant today from our listener, we feel like we're friends with you guys too.
I know.
I mean, for real, we feel exactly the same way. It's not weird at all that for
Indeed.
you to say that, because I'm like, yep, we are friends. If you guys were writing to us, we'd be talking about you too. So anyway, things are hard, right? But
Yes.
and we always think 2020, this is the worst, and it is. Don't get me wrong. However, let me just remind you of how things were dealt with in ancient times.
Oh boy.
This is just something for you to think about. In ancient Egypt, people put a dead mouse in their mouth when they had a toothache. According to Nathan Belofsky's book, Strange Medicine, A Shocking History of Real Medical Practices Through the Age, mice were also used as a warts remedy during Elizabethan England. So there you go, guys. We could be living in a time where people are like, hey, you want to know how to get rid of COVID? How you know how to prevent getting the Rona? Stick a dead mouse in your mouth. So I guess we're doing all right, guys. Okay, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.